So, very good morning. The morning after the Crew Dragon mission. Unbelievable. We wrote history yesterday, and I thought I researched a little bit because I really wanted to see what Elon Musk said after this launch, and obviously I found a very interesting interview. It was a little bit lengthy, but I found also a very interesting summary or highlights, which I will post below this video in the description, guys. You will see the interview link where you can look it for yourself, but this is more about my personal reaction, my personal opinion about this. Obviously, you know, I'm super excited and super happy for SpaceX, for us as humanity, we as overall living in this period to experience that, and Elon Musk making this all happen. Now, I think the very interesting part is that, guys, everything went well, everything went as planned, everything was like just hand in hand working together so smoothly. I mean, it didn't look good yesterday, right? The weather looked terrible, and we basically have seen that the weather then gets better and better. Then we had T minus 45, T minus 30, everything looks great, and then the rocket Falcon 9 took off and brought, I think, Mike and Doug into orbit and into space, and everything went well. Even Falcon 9 went down and landed perfectly on the barge. I Still Love You, I think, is the name of the barge. So everything went as planned, and I have seen some footage where they showed Elon Musk into the control base and in the control center, which, you know, he stand up and looked up and everything, and was super exciting. I think the team did a tremendous job to put this together. This is one of the hardest things to do out there, engineering wise. I think also into the convincing government and NASA and everybody to do this kind of missions, which cost very much money and funds. And this is obviously a great success, not only for the private company space that showed that also they can support governments into big things, but also that SpaceX, you know. And let's dive into the main topics that Elon Musk said in the interview that I think are most important. Again, the link will be in the description if you want to look it through yourself. But I think the most important parts is that, you know, he's saying that he worked 18 years for that moment. Obviously, this is still very young, very new, and obviously this is so important for the space industry, for humans to become interplanetary. And I totally agree with him, you know. It's unbelievable. 2008, he and SpaceX and Tesla was so close to bankruptcy, and he put his last money into these ventures. And I think this is absolutely fantastic and is like a role model for CEOs and founders and entrepreneurs out there. And this is just so great. And he said, you know, security of the astronauts was number one priority. He said it many times to the families, to them. We ensured everything is super safe to bring the dads back home safely after the mission. And if you have watched it yesterday into the TV, it was just incredible, guys, right? It is so a privilege to watch all of this. And I think this is a huge jump for the space industry. Look at 10 million people yesterday watched the show, the live stream of people going to space. And if this will not help, you know, the whole space industry to get more popular, to get more serious about that we need to, as humans, go into the space and explore and go much farther than our blue planet, because our blue planet, if we consider it, is so vulnerable. And I think that it's so important to understand these missions are so important for us humans to extend our reach. And so I think that's really important to say. And obviously, as Virgin Galactic investor, I'm also super happy to see how Virgin Galactic will act tomorrow, because this should definitely will bring some additional customers or interesting customers to the potential of going into space, which Virgin Galactic is the only company to do this, right? And moreover, they are listed on the stock market, so also the one and only public traded company that is doing these things right now. So let's talk about a little bit more about the things that Elon Musk said. I think that it's an unbelievable team effort to what they have done. Such an incredible hard problems to solve, to make it the most secure mission ever done into space. And this is just so unbelievable, and I hope this will inspire many more future Elon Musks to be like him, because he's just obviously very he's just the role model of showing us how things can be done. And therefore I believe that's absolutely great. And he's also saying in his interview that it was hard work by so many people, that it's also always a team effort, that it's such a great thing to understand that this is important. And that I saw also an interview by the chief of NASA who said, Mr. Trump is very supportive of the space industry, and also is they're securing more and more funding, which I think is unbelievable great, because this kind of missions are great for America, but also great for other countries out there to just increase our reach. In space you can do a lot of, let's say, experiments that, for example, make the weather forecast much better, which can then save a lot of people pretending and saving them from natural disasters and so on. So I think this all this space is such an interesting part. And there's also a brand new Netflix series out there. It's a little bit of a comedy, but Space Force, if you are interested, this is something that you should maybe look into it as well if you are interested into space. Now, today is Tesla Sundays, as you know, so more Tesla Sunday Tesla content and Elon Musk content is coming up today with my daily vlog. And today we will talk about the Tesla live. Well, we will talk about Tesla in our live stream. So make sure to thumb up and smash that subscribe button if you are new here. And I'm super interesting to see how the further mission will go on, because obviously this was the first part, but at some part, we will see further missions. We will see missions to the moon. We will see the astronauts coming back, right? So it's currently they are still traveling. So in a couple of hours, there will be the big event of them entering the ISS, which is super interesting to see that it takes a little bit of while to travel until they reach their destinations, and then by themselves they need to go into the space station. So I'm quite interested to see that there will be a live stream, or there is a live stream that supporting this, and this will be super fascinating to see, and I'm super happy to be part of it and be here with you guys to experience this kind of history in the making by SpaceX, and the beginning, a huge step for the space industry. So thank you very much for watching. Thumb up on the ways out, and I see you in a little bit here on Wolf of Dubai.